Mhm. Oh. Sorry, guys, just setting something else up here. I forgot to do. Of course, I forgot to put the link in for the live. So I think we're live. And let me just pin the message. Pin the message. Okay, so that's it. The link is in for the live, is it? No, that's not the link for the live. Do excuse me. That's the link to my, oh God, amateur hour here. Paul, welcome in. Let me get this right. Link is in now. Pin that. Replace pinned message. There we go. And let me delete this other one. Remove that one. Okay, so we are live, I think. So let me double check and make sure everything is working now. I think everything is working. Let's go back to the very beginning. I know Shark Scrapper is still running. He had a few issues on his live, so he's still running at the moment. But we've set our time, so we have to get going. Right, Ron, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope all is good. Anfield Road, welcome in. Hope all is good. Oh, someone in the basement already. My God, that was quick. Mr. Matthews, I just finished saying my hellos first before we talk to you, Mr. Matthews. Lee, welcome in. Steve, welcome in. Bruce Napier, welcome in. Andy, pass the ducks, as what you call her. Ian, Patrick Williams, Paul Frost, 6th Street Garage, welcome in. A garage, welcome in. Anyways, Mike, welcome in. Truck fan, welcome in. And of course, Ian Matthews, Happy New Year to you.
And a Happy New Year to yourself. Did I hear you say pass the ducks?
Yes, that's what you would call it. Indeed. What?
I knew you did. Hang on, I'm asking questions here. Do I want to sign into StreamYard? Why? I'm here talking to you.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Access, continue.
Hey, Everyday Solars, welcome in. Good to see you.
Solars. Oh, that means I can open my calendar, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I was showing off the first page of the calendar last week.
I don't actually know where it is.
Ian Matthews. Well, I have it left beside. I have my calendar at the moment left beside a giant Ian Matthews sticker. Giant Ian Matthews sticker.
Right, you don't call that a big sticker, do you?
And there's the calendar with a certain Ian Matthews on it.
Oh, look at that. That may be me.
Maybe you.
May be me.
It may be you.
I think she should have used the one where I was outside stripping. Shouldn't you, scholars?
Here's a good one for you, Ian. You know how we're always saying about copper prices and stuff like that? And I was just going through pricing of stuff. And we'd say a ton of copper at the moment. What's a ton of copper in the scrapyard? Maybe 7,000, 6,000, whatever.
I wish it was.
Okay, 5,000 something.
Well, I weighed in on Friday.
Yeah.
Just some light iron and some aluminium. And I asked the prices to see if they could tempt me to weigh it in. Aaron batted his eyelids. He just wouldn't go high enough for me. I said, no good. So he offered me £6.40 for...
So that's 6,400 a ton.
Yeah, for new tube or copper tube that's not got paint on.
Okay.
Yeah, once you've got a price, you can figure out everything else. What surprised me was that Bright Copper was almost only the same price. He could offer me £6, I think it was £6.60. I went, oh no, you're going to have to go up a little bit there before I weigh my little bit in.
Yeah. So, well, here's a surprise that you might be surprised with pricing of scrap metal. We never really think of in value. I know we've talked about tin being such a high price. Cobalt, Ian, how much?
Wow, that is expensive. You get a good price for cobalt, but you've got to get a source of it. You need to know an engineering company that uses lots of cobalt drills because they're very brittle, they snap, so they throw them away. But that is thousands of pounds a ton.
Well,
my brother Mike.
Happy belated birthday.
Of course, yeah, one pensioner to another pensioner. Hello, Mike.
I felt bad.
And another Mike. And another Mike.
Oh, we're being and my brother's called Mike, by the way. So lots of Mikes.
Well, cobalt prices. To go back to the cobalt prices for a minute, right? Cobalt prices. Looking here on an American website at the moment.
I'm gonna guess 12,000.
Right, they're predicting they do like the 6-month prediction of working out on what pre-orders have been done for cobalt and stuff like that, and their prediction. Or let me go to the cobalt page and I'll share it with you once I get it. Okay, I'm going to share that page, and this is their predictions going on previous years and going on the demand that is for cobalt at the moment. So let me go and present share screen. I was shocked when I seen this price, and we're looking for cobalt.
Hey, Paul.
This is the live cobalt price on the London Metal Exchange at the moment, and they are predicting in 15 months' time it will be 25,000 a ton, and bids at the moment are going up to 26,000 a ton. So people are already booking it in at 26,000 a ton 15 months ahead of time. So we say manufacturers and stuff are buying it at the moment 15 months for use in 15 months time at 26,000 a ton. That is absolutely crazy price.
It's nothing I come across. Very rarely do I come across a bit of cobalt. Very rarely. It's like mercury. I hardly ever come across mercury.
Scrappy Metals, welcome in. By the way, James P, the Shed Shop, welcome in. Local, welcome in. American Favorite Order, welcome in. Who else is there? Did I miss it? I missed someone else coming in. Ralph Morrick, welcome in. Anyone else? No, I think I said. Philip, welcome in. And that's it. But Mickey, welcome in, Mickey. Sorry, missed Mickey as well. So but cobalt is they were saying the cobalt is the Congo is the biggest producer of cobalt at the moment in the world, which produced 2/3 of the cobalt worldwide. But recycling of mobile phones, the batteries from your electric cars will be where the cobalt, like aluminium, can be recycled indefinitely, and it doesn't downgrade. So if you recycle a kg of cobalt, you'll get a kg of cobalt back, usually. So it's a never-ending source. So it's just something I thought was very interesting.
Hey, come on. AMF said, hit that like button. I've just done it. I'm number 6. I'm sure there's more than 6 watching. There's more than 6 in chat. There's 3 on.
Well, it's up to 11 now if you refresh it, Ian. It's up to 11. But batteries, the lithium batteries and cobalt mixed together, lithium and cobalt. If you could separate the cobalt from the lithium, which would be no backyard scrapper would like to have a go at that one.
I would. I've got some little lithium batteries outside just outside in the garden. I really don't know what to do with them.
Bring them to the recycling centre. Let them deal with them, Ian.
Probably.
No, I have loads of these little batteries all over the place, out in my shed and outside in a steel bucket and stuff like that. And I have more here that I want to pull the gold connectors on. So
yeah, I prefer to keep them inside here in the shed where they're warm.
Yeah. And when they swell up, start to get bigger, it increases the value of them.
Yeah, when they get bigger, obviously the bigger they weigh more. So yes.
Yeah. No, I don't know of anyone that actually buys batteries, lithium-ion batteries or lithium batteries. I don't know of any scrapyards that will actually buy them off you. Mike, do you know of anyone over there in America?
I throw mine in my shred.
Andy's put a comment there, and what Mike said. So my yard says, and there's a sign up, you throw lithium batteries in, we'll fine you. So it's something like £10 per lithium battery if you're caught throwing it in the shred.
Yeah, I throw them in the shred. I don't care.
Patrick says, get rid of them. They're a dangerous item to have around the place. Yeah, they are. There's many a scrapyard has burnt down. I think, didn't Watchcall have a fire? What's his name? Chris in Boardsort.
Yeah.
He had a fire because of lithium iron twice.
Oh, yeah, he had one fire off and
one fire burned the complete facility down.
See you scrapping, are you?
Hey, see you scrapping. Welcome in. Good to see you.
They'll only buy them now if they're attached to whatever they're, like a laptop or a cell phone. And a lot of cell phones, they don't even want to buy them with the batteries.
Here's the late to the classroom. Go sit in the corner for being late.
Hey, hello, Shirk. I almost caught the end of your stream, but like, I don't know if you call it my optimum prime scrapping time. Seems like I've come out the slumber. The night coordination's got going, and then it's like you're on, and it's like, oh, what do I do? I can watch him later. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, I would never stop someone from scrapping just to watch me babble on, man. Keep scrapping.
You could scrap and babble on at the same time. But,
that's true.
I am going to set up.
Welcome in. Richard, welcome in. Good to see you guys.
I am set up a monitor in the shed part and a PC and just kind of like do it, you know, and be like you lot normally do. Work, chat at the same time.
I'm hard pressed to do more than one thing at a time, though, man.
YouTube. Ralph, I think is playing games tonight because Shark Scrapper is. When I went into his live and we were there waiting and everyone was commenting away, and next thing, nothing was happening. And then I went down to my phone to check, and next thing he was live. And I go, how can he be live? There was 2 different links up, Shark. So I went into I went up to the other one. I put the link in, and I told people to go to this link instead. It was
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
It's a slight little difference at the end of it, just a couple of letters different, but it was weird. So it was.
And I think that was my software. I think that was EV Mux, because when I first told it to go live at 2:00, it was having a lot of trouble connecting to the server and was giving me a lot of warnings. And then it came back and said, weren't able to go live, try again. And I think when I tried again, that caused YouTube to give it a different link.
Okay. I don't know if you catch, you were still live when we were on, but I was on about Cobalt. They're predicting, there's a couple of websites there, and you know how they do the futures. So people are buying the stuff 15 months ahead or putting bids on the stuff 15 months ahead. The price of Cobalt on the London Metal Exchange at the moment, 15 months ahead, is gone up to 26,000 a ton.
Yeah.
Like that's what their people are bidding on. So Cobalt, we're just saying it's not a metal that we usually pick up a lot of, unless you're really some of the big boys who are doing the mobile phones properly. So they're getting the Cobalt back from the mobile phones and things. And plus, how you were mentioning in your live that aluminium is a metal that can be recycled forever. So can Cobalt. Cobalt is one of these metals that doesn't degrade. That every time you recycle it, it stays the same. So that's another metal that you can recycle indefinitely. But Jeanette, welcome in. But it's a harder one to get out because you have the Cobalt in your lithium batteries, of course. You'll have them in mobile phones in different parts of the mobile phones. And as what's called saying, Ian, you have Cobalt drill bits, of course, where people use Cobalt drill bits. But the thing it was on a website there called what's the name of this website? Scrap Monster. I look at sometimes for scrap prices. It's called Scrap Monster, and they have the
I think so I'll probably put myself on mute because it's going to be chaos here.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, if you don't put yourself on mute, I'll be putting you on mute.
Yeah, but I want to know, Mike, who won that? Who won that scrap?
We just had a dog dropped off for a 5-month foster, so.
Yeah, and it's just been eaten.
Yeah.
You don't have to foster him anymore. He's gone. So he is.
No.
You don't have to. But
Anyway.
yeah, so go on. What do you want to say?
Where are we? New year?
Yeah,
New
another
year.
year.
New year, new start.
Ah.
What?
Still more, and he's pouring in the damn glass.
Well, now you know what I didn't notice. Was there
Yeah,
whiskey in there before you poured it?
Is he adding anything to it? Is he
Yeah, a
adding
bit of
anything to
water.
it?
I've got some
Water. Oh, okay. Yeah.
water.
Yeah,
Water
look at
to
that.
just like let it down a little bit.
Let it down a little bit.
Yeah, it's important to stay hydrated.
Oh, I've gone on water tablets now. Jesus, wet. They make you pee.
Ian Matthews, you're weird. So, Ian, did you so you didn't bring your copper to the scrapyard then after all?
No, I'm tempted with the new copper at £6.40. Thinking, well, that's a decent price.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute you, Mike, or if that dog keeps barking.
No, I'm tempted. Bright, shockingly low for Bright. That's still around about £6.40 as well.
Well, again, on that monster site there, they were saying everywhere, America, the prices have gone up on copper, but Europe, prices have stayed the same. There's been no movement on copper in the last week in Europe, but in America, on average, it's gone up 7%. So I was just looking here now on that website, and they give you the copper prices for the last 7 days, and they're saying that the copper in America has rose about 7% in the last 7 days, but in Europe it has stayed the same. It hasn't moved in 7 days. So they're saying the copper should increase in Europe next week, following on from the American rise this week. So maybe next week you will get a better price, Ian. So maybe hold off.
I'll probably wait until about spring.
Yeah.
I prefer to the dip just before the rise. I get that satisfaction.
E-Waste Jill, you're down in the basement there, but I don't bring anyone up that's smoking, unfortunately. Sorry. If you're smoking, finish your cigarette before you can come up. So it's just something I don't do.
Oh, right. Okay.
I allow drinking, but smoking, no.
Don't smoke. Well, it's a good job I'm just on orange juice then, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm an anti-smoker.
I tell you what, talking about you got one. Why do people make square glasses? I mean, I know it kind of makes sense. You get the last drop by drinking out the corner, but your mouth's round, isn't it? So mouth going into square is not right. It just doesn't feel right.
So see there, number 2 copper, JR Cat is getting $3 a pound. So that's about $6 something a pound or a kg in for number 2 copper. You were just getting a little bit more than that for number 1 copper, Ian. We're getting done over here.
Yeah, I was talking to him about the year about it. He said it's strange how Bright's dropped in price, yet what we call heavy copper, it's quite high, and that Bright copper's dropped down to that price. I mean, it's £6.40 for new tube. That's a good price. You know, you take it in all day long at that. So if Bright copper was round about £7, you'd expect heavy copper to be about £6.40.
Yeah,
so you think, oh, that's I normally ask what's Bright price, and then I base the rest of everything else on that. So he kind of shocked me.
Patrick is saying here in Ireland, number 1 is $7.20 a kilo, and number 2 is $6.20 a kilo.
Richard Hulbert's commenting there. Oh, Richard, I talked to my yard about what we call number 2 motors. You know, fan motors, not the plastic off, etc. And it's plummeted in price. There can't be any. Apparently, a motor now can't have any circuit boards on them, or this is difficult, an amount of plastic. Now, what do you call an amount of plastic? You know, you get a CPU fan. Yeah, you just knock the fins off, and you've got a bit of plastic round the end. And they're saying, no, that bit of plastic's got to come off, and the little bit of circuit board at the ends have got to come off, or it's classed as hazardous waste. So it looks like small motor prices are just plummeting over here.
Well, it's a way as well of getting rid of smaller scrappers out of this, coming into places, and just dealing with bigger companies who will be processing stuff down themselves rather than that. You know, it's that kind of thing. Partnest, welcome in, by the way. EOS Jill, how are you doing?
Doing good.
Okay. Anything scrap related to talk about?
I think it's cute that I got some number 2 in a bag from the Christmas lights with the lights off of it, and my cat's treating the bag like it's a bean bag. He loves it.
Christmas lights is going to be the thing that everyone is going to be picking up for the next couple of weeks, I presume.
Yeah, that's true.
And the street scrappers.
So that's a transformer wrapped in plastic. I would normally be able to throw that as in, you know, small motors. And now they won't accept that because they'll only accept that as Aini Alley, as Aini price. And I'm thinking, I don't want to weigh that in as Aini, but I don't want to break it open because I know it's going to be a pain.
Hey, Leanne, welcome in. What you got to say in there? Everybody started saying she saw at Tyroni's earlier today, not sure what it meant about the watch call. They're not going to be doing export, and motors has been banned. So no more motors to be exported from the UK.
That's right.
So that means, again, unless there's a company in the UK buying the motors for recycling further down the line, there's not going to be many markets for them. So prices.
But it's complicated because EMR, they have branches in Turkey, right? Yeah. So they can ship their stuff to Turkey, which negates the fact that it's hazardous waste because they can't ship it to China. China class it as hazardous waste.
Yeah, no, it's getting tighter out there in the market. A bit like the laws that Shark was talking about last week about in Minnesota and that. They're tightening up the market on recycling and stuff because there is a lot of cowboys out there too doing it, and they're robbing stuff and they're bringing stolen stuff and they're burning the copper wire and they're this and they're that, and it's bound to tighten up really big out there to try and eliminate them sort of problems. But what it's doing to the normal guy that's trying to do it proper way, it's making his life a lot harder as well to make profits. I was reading on. Was it that scrap chat, Ian Matthews? You're on that forum, and there was a guy there, and he owns a scrapyard, and he put up a thing of saying like, how is all the scrapyards managing to survive in the day of social media? Because he said one time you had a higher margin on stuff, you could make a bit more margin, because people weren't sure of what the value. But he said now because of all this YouTube thing, they know what every yard is paying. So the margins have gone really tight on the scrap yards, but the cost of doing business has gone really high because of environmental laws that they have to obey by and stuff like that. And he's saying where you might have had a 30% margin on copper, now you're buying a ton of copper, he said, maybe for, it's costing you, we'd say 6,200, and you're selling that ton on for 6,700. So you're already making a very small margin compared to what you were making before. So it's just something I thought that was interesting, you know.
In California, on every streetlight on the interstates, they have a sign that says "No copper, only aluminum wire."
Yeah, to stop people.
The pastor do has just put nice comment on the. If you strip something down like a lawnmower, a strimmer, maybe even a washing machine motor these days, and you've got, I'll show you.
This is like Sean 10 in school. Ian just goes and gets
Right.
over to a corner, grab something out of the corner.
Get a nice motor out of it. And you snip one tiny wire somewhere that nobody will see, really deep down there, and you go, oh, that's aluminium. Right, the question is, does that go in as a motor, or do you strip it and take the aluminium out and weigh it in as iron and aluminium?
Right, well, I'm going to say one statement to you, and I know by your face. Ian, I'm sure you being the honest person that you are, you will strip that out and bring it in as aluminium.
Right. No, I used to weigh that. I would weigh that in as a motor. But the price of small motors has dropped so much. God, come on. You throw that in, big sack of others. They're not going to check and go, oh, is that aluminium? Then you get 350, 400 pound a ton. But now the price of motors has dropped so much, it is actually worth stripping that, because aluminium is fetching £1,000 a ton. And it's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as a hobbyist scrapper, you're not going to be counting the time that you take to take it apart. But if you're doing it as a living, then is it worth it when you take the amount of time into it? That's the other question.
Well, those itty bitty motors, I just keep those together.
That explains a lot for why my yard is only paying shred price for the fan motors and small electric motors. The only thing that they'll classify as a small electric motor is something like what Mike gets. That big, and they're good and heavy, and it was clearly a motor. And I'm not going to be getting those anymore since I'm not doing street scrapping or industrial level scrapping. So
so sure. So what do your CPU fans go in as?
Shred.
No, I can get small motors for them.
But not in my yard. They're not. My yard won't take them as small motors. They're just taking them as shred. So.
Well, then again, that's it. You're in a different country. And as I watched your post the other day, a normal guy like myself can take in $25. What is it? Twice a year of of scrap.
That's in Michigan, and that's because of the new law that they put in place.
That's where Mike lives.
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah, not Michigan, Minnesota.
That's twice he's done that.
We're one of those M states. We got a bunch of M states over here.
Oh, Daniel.
I just want to comment on Daniel's thing. What do you guys spray paint? Just spray the aluminium wire. Any scrapyard worth their salt will spot that one a mile away. And if they don't spot it straight away, they will cop onto it. And next thing, you won't be bringing anything into the scrapyards anymore. And it'll spread like wildfire. So I wouldn't even do that.
As bad as I am, and I've got low morals, very low morals.
We know.
You can't, you've got to build up your trust with your scrapyard. You'll lose in the long run. You'll lose in the long run.
Yeah, I go to the point where when I take in motors, if it's an aluminum motor, which is the only motor I take in, I point out that it's an aluminum motor.
Yeah, it's about with scrapyards, it's about building trust, and you have to be able to. It has to be the other way around as well. Your scrapyard has to be the sort of scrapyard that will not screw you over when they try and lowball you as well. If you're dealing with a scrapyard that's constantly lowballing you on pricing compared to everywhere else, just move to the other scrapyard. Just go to another scrapyard that gives you better prices, guys. Don't waste your time with scrapyards that are lowballing you. You see it out there. People saying, I know that some people have no choice. There's only one scrapyard in their area. So that is tough if there's only one scrapyard in your area. But if you have a few scrapyards, shop around and see who's going to look after you the best as well. And if you do find a scrapyard that's good to you, don't screw them over and ruin it all for yourself,
Yeah,
They have a
that's why
scrapyard.
Go
Go
That's
ahead.
why they don't share prices either, because the lowball scrap yards are the ones who absolutely will destroy the ones who are sharing prices.
I got a scrapyard 3 miles from my house, and they'll take aluminum cans in, and they'll take any other non-ferrous in, only if you bring in a certain amount of aluminum cans. And last year, I didn't have any aluminum on me, so I brought everything in, and guy weighed it out, and then he's like, said, how much? He's like, well, we'll just take it in for free. I was like, okay, well, let's put it back on the car. Put it
The
back in
yard
the van.
that I
I'll go
go
to,
to-
going somewhere where I get paid for it.
You've got a point there. It's. I know I can drive to. I mean,
So hold on a minute. I have to pound on this one. I think now Daniel is playing with us a bit at this stage. I've just decided he's just playing with us. I hate when you're under a truck, right about to saw off a converter, and the owner returns, starts up the vehicle, and runs over. That's all.
That's how you do it.
Okay, Daniel.
You're lucky if that's all they do around here.
The yard that I used to go to that sold out, they take all the motors and they call it mixed motors. So it don't matter if it's copper or aluminum. They throw it all together.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what the Anvil Yard does.
Yeah, and they pay 39 cents a pound. So
Okay.
it don't matter if it's aluminum, half copper, half aluminum. But
Well, it
even
saves you from having to check.
I take all my aluminum motors and I throw them in a box, and then when I get a bunch of them, I'll just take them in, and they just go as mixed motors. They call
Yeah,
it.
but Mike,
What, Ian? What? Jesus God!
how far is it to go to a different scrapyard for you?
He has 3 scrapyards near him, I think. Does he?
Yeah, all right. I mean, I have half a
In a
dozen.
10-mile radius of where I'm sitting right now, there's 13 yards.
Wow.
And you only talk about 3.
But you look like, like Cruiser Mac, and the other guys. They've got to travel an hour to go, or more, 3 hours to go to a scrapyard. You've got to weigh all that lot in, haven't you?
What I find weird now is the yard that is closest to me, they're paying $3.35 a pound right now for number 2 copper. The yard farthest out from me, which is my original people, they always had a high price. They're at $3.15. So figure that out. And actually, where the yard is right here, their yard is here. Here's the street, and then there's another yard right there, right across the street. You could like literally throw a rock and hit somebody in the head over there. So there's so much competition here. It's just, and I found out that the guys that bought my old yard cannot stand the guys across the street. So the price war is just ridiculous between those two. So they're paying like big money for a lot of stuff now. So I'm good with that.
Aye.
Yeah.
We've had at the Anvil Yard. I go to. Loyalty. What's loyalty to a scrapyard? I don't know. It's loyalty's to me how much I'm going to get paid compared to the effort I have to put in to take it somewhere. Now, I work in a metal welding fabricating factory, and we produce tons of shortcut number 1 scrap, which we have a big yard takes in. I can go to that yard and I can get preferential prices for everything else, but to go there takes me an hour, and I'm thinking I could just nip to Leet, so nip to my local town 3 miles up the road, there and back. I'm a hobbyist scrapper, so I'm taking in 100 kilos. Okay, take it somewhere else, I might get an extra 10 pence, 10 cents, 20 cents. And it's just not worth the time. Might as well just go there and back, done.
Yeah. Again, it depends on what you're bringing. If you're bringing a truckload of scrap, it's worth driving them extra miles. If you're bringing a boot full of scrap, then what's the point?
Right, so I was at the Anvil Yard on Friday, tempting him to talk me into bringing me copper in. He's like, how much have you got? And I said, well, I've got 200 kilos. He went, it's 40 quid difference between what you want and bringing it in now.
Yeah, but were Were those big squids or were those the little tiny squids?
Big squid.
Oh, they're definitely big squids.
Okay.
You're
All
thinking
right.
like, he's right. It's only 40 quid. You know, it's like, is that space worth 40 quid? I don't know. It's that constant turning over in your head till there comes a point where you've no room, and then you've got to check it in, isn't it?
Even the computer fans, my old yard used to take them, and then their buyer was bitching because it was just too much plastic. So I started throwing them in shred. Now the new owners down here, they give me 17 cents a pound for them. They call them computer fans. That's what they're categorized as. So now I can go back and get more than shred for them. It's weird the way it works, but yeah.
By the way, Merchant Metals got his 1,000 subscriber last week here when he was on the live, and he's nearly up to 2,000 subscribers up now in the space of a week.
He must make some good videos.
So that's really well done, Merchant Metals. Well done, sir. Flying it, eating it up. So he is.
Well, it's amazing. I watched
Good
it
work.
morning in bed. Okay.
By the way, welcome in, Ed.
Oh, why do you have to? I don't want to vision you in bed.
She was called Crazy Jane or something. It doesn't really matter. But the description was she'd bought some stuff off Temu. Now, it works out she's an electronics engineer and specializes in revitalizing old gaming consoles. But I didn't realize that because the headline said, bought off Temu, monster wire stripper. I thought, I've got to watch that to see what it is that she's bought. Turned out to be a little handheld thing that looked like a monster. Right? But I watched the whole video and it's like, wow, you know, that was interesting what she's bought off Temu, how it applies to what she does. You just wouldn't use the monster Temu wire stripper, you know. But it was just interesting, you know.
Yeah, look at it. It's there's tons of videos out there on YouTube, and you think by the title it gets you hooked in. It might be interesting or it might not be interesting.
Well, what caught me is it was something like 11,000 views, but she'd only 3,000 subscribers. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of views for, you know, and only been up a number of hours. So,
yeah.
Like I say, you never know how YouTube decides to promote your stuff. And
Well, it all depends on the algorithm, isn't it? That's it. Simple as what hits and what doesn't.
Yeah, and YouTube is purposely trying to promote smaller channels. You know, I don't know if you noticed that, but in the last several months, they've tweaked the algorithm so that they will push some of the smaller channels in front of you to try to help promote smaller channels. So it's an interesting twist that the algorithm is doing.
Yeah.
Well, YouTube's already pushed making shorts too. That's the only reason why I make shorts is because YouTube said if you want more views, do shorts. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, but they're trying to draw the viewers back from TikTok. So and
it's posted a lot onto YouTube too.
Yeah. But what I'm saying
sorry, Facebook.
I was saying that YouTube are trying to draw the TikTok audience back. So shorts is something they want you to do a lot of as well, because that's all TikTok does is short videos essentially. So they want you to promote your shorts as well. So they will promote short videos to try and draw people back. Hey Terry, welcome in. Good to see you, sir.
Well, we'll find out next week if TikTok's going to be a thing in America anymore.
Right.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, because TikTok is a big, like a lot of people are on TikTok and use it. It's a big resource for people. It's another income that people, there's big TikTokers out there making a lot of money on it. And if all of a sudden, if the American audience is gone, that's a big proportion of their income gone. And advertisers then next thing, will Europe look at doing it, and will different parts of the world look at doing it? So that will be an interesting one to see what happens. Grandpa Kevin, welcome in. Good to see you.
I don't know.
Hey, Kevin.
I'd love to see Shirk in shorts.
No, you didn't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Even better, I'd love to see Shirk in the sea.
Oh, here we go.
with, I don't know, swimming with sharks.
Mike can't get his camera to focus at all.
He'll probably do that sometime. He might be in a cage, but then he'd have to change the name of his channel, possibly. Are you still involved in that thing on the East Coast there, Shark? Where you get a chance to swim with sharks for charity?
I am. I need to. So I haven't donated to the University of Miami recently because the lead researcher headed out and started his own thing, and I'm debating between whether or not I shift to them or up here in Western North Carolina. There's a shark research nonprofit up here. I haven't had a chance to get out and research them thoroughly enough to know if that's someplace that I want to support. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that part of the business.
And how's it going? Are you doing any more Red Cross work?
Yeah, I need to get some more
Good?
training. In fact, they recently reached out and wanted me to get some training so that I could deploy to California, but I wasn't able to get the training done. So that's why I'm in California right now. And I'm debating whether or not I want to get trained up to where I can be a deployable asset or if I just want to stay a local asset.
So in February, I'm going to do all the paperwork and everything. I got just a little Transit Connect. And you got to do a lot of paperwork and be one of the people, a deployable responder.
Yeah, sure.
Whether it's local or national.
For us in the UK, can you please say California EIA rather than just California?
California?
No,
California
EIA.
What are you trying to say?
California IA. What, like a song?
No,
California?
It's
Why would you say California?
That's what people pronounce it in different. In the UK, England's called California.
It's not California. It's California EIA.
There ain't no more California taxes.
It's like how you butcher aluminium. You know what I mean? Come on, at least a California EIA, right?
Well, how do they say Minneapolis up there? Over there, I should say.
No, we just say mini.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, there's some people they'll say Minneapolis like it's Indianapolis, in Minnesota.
Terry said, "Mike, you're allowed to talk."
Right, mate, you can talk.
I don't want to talk to none of you idiots.
Yeah, Californication.
Except Ian.
Yeah, that's terrible out in California at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
Wildfire, it's absolutely deadly. You're having a bad spell over there in America of all these natural disasters, aren't you? Between the storms and the wildfires and stuff like that, it's just crazy. You know.
Yeah,
Sark, have you noticed any difference in price between your local price and like out of state prices at all?
There you go, Ian.
There's shark in sharks swimming with sharks.
I'm still trying to wrap my head.
As requested.
Oh, look at those.
I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that there's a shark research institute 300 miles from the ocean.
Well, they do save sharks around the world.
I reckon
it's hard to save them when they're in the water if they're saving them from a really bad shark tank.
Shark. Anyway, I promise to be quiet for a bit, so go on.
No, yeah.
Well, Ian, I'm curious on the screen thing behind you. What's the blue thing over your shoulder there? Is that a vacuum cleaner or is that a air hose thingy?
Just a bag.
It's a bag.
Your left shoulder. There. Oh, that's just a bag. Oh, okay.
Oh, but it's a two-handle bag.
Oh, okay.
That's a big improvement.
Anything else?
Yeah, blue's my favorite color.
That's a nut. That's a nut.
Oh, what's in the green box over your right shoulder? Green box over your right shoulder. Merry Christmas. The hats.
That is the most useful thing in this shed.
This first aid kit.
Oh, okay.
It's the one that gets the most use. Ian, I'd say that's there so long that if you put the plasters that's in there on your hands, you're going to
Right, you pointed to the wrong place because if I ever cut myself, it's duct tape, isn't it?
Oh, it's always duct tape.
Super glue.
Duct tape's better than plasters.
I look out for years with the corpse. We don't understand the amount of bush or how hard it is to get to. And wind. Yeah, the wind is the thing that's been. The wind just happened to be blown at a higher rate and in the perfect direction to bring it for miles and miles and miles. There was a satellite picture I was looking at earlier of it. One of the satellites had it, and it's just you can't believe the amount of fire in California at the moment. It's everywhere. It's crazy over there.
Well, I was sort of, I don't know. There's a lot of vegetation around those houses that did burn, and I was sort of surprised by that because California's always crying about water shortages. And it's a type of vegetation that takes a lot of water. Water normally.
Is that the what's called Shark? Is that the new one up where you are now? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one that I'm thinking about. I need to get over there and spend some time with those folks and get to know them better. They are recognized by other institutions as a legitimate shark research facility. They were started by some marine biologists that came from this part of the state and wanted to go back home. So they do a lot of research on smaller sharks. So I need to understand them a little more before I make a decision.
Hendersonville. That's a familiar name for me. I don't know if I delivered there or if there's a good truck stop there. It's either one or the other. A truck stop with good food or a nice delivery place back in the day.
I know there's a big way station here, so maybe you had to come through the way station.
That could be.
Oh, it's so fun just reading the comments here.
What's good? The comments about Saunders having a screenshot of the last time Ian tried that. So I don't know what she's on about there now.
Well, it's the same kind of shot we had in the E-Waste Mike pillow.
You had to mention the pillow. Okay. Remember, what happens with the pillow stays with the pillow. Okay.
Yeah. Don't mention the Vaseline.
It's more confidential than Vegas. Okay.
The Mike pillow.
Don't mention the Vaseline. It was only a small tin. I'll tell you what, whatever you do, don't get it mixed up with
what month is Ian on the? I heard say he's on a spring part of the calendar, but don't look ahead. It's bad luck if you look ahead.
If you buy a calendar, you may see him in it. You may see him in it.
You may.
I've been scared to buy the calendar. I mean, I will once I get a little bit of extra spending cash, but I'm just so scared if we're going to see Ian in that dress or that skirt.
In that pose.
With the Homer in the hand.
Yeah. Now, who's the first month of the calendar? I'm allowed to show what month, who's on the first month. So there's 2 people on the first month. Let me get my calendar open again here on the first month.
On the first month of the calendar.
No, Jill, if you'd like to email me, I will. I'll send you some of the alternative.
Is that what you're looking for, Irish?
Yeah. It's a good thing I'm single, right?
That's the one. So there you have it. You have 2 scrappers on the first month. For January, that's who you're going to see. There we go.
All right, that's it. I found mine. There we go. Yeah, I knew it weren't so far away.
So Jill, are you saying that you're waiting for the bikini edition?
Well, my birthday's in April, and my sister's gonna become a grandma in late March, or I'm hoping April 3rd. And I just want to know if it's March or April, and if I'm gonna have a celebration or just get passed out drunk.
What have I got?
For my birthday month.
I'll never find it. Doesn't matter. My birthday.
Well, actually, before you talk, I want to ask Solers if she's still in the chat, and if she's still in the chat, Solers, how did the calendar sales go so far for you? Was it good for you?
112. 112.
112 calendars. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. So it is.
I asked the same question 2 days ago.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's good to hear. So that was good. That raised a bit of cash for the charities. Still not too late for anyone who wants to get their calendar, and presume they're still available. So guys, check out Solar's link on her YouTube channel if you want to pick up some of them calendars. No. Right, what are we going to say, Neen, before I stopped you? Sorry.
I can't find it, and it's tragedy because it's a birthday. But instead of you showed the bit with man cave on,
yeah,
and I have my own man cave bit.
Oh yeah.
However, they bought me a bigger one which says Grumpy Man Cave, and I don't know where I've put it. I've hid it. I've lost it. Anyway, I've got a big one that says Grumpy Man Cave. Me, Grumpy. Where did he get that from?
She's saying, Saunders is saying next year's calendar may be a calendar girl style calendar due to the popular demand. Who's in? Does that mean Ian has to dress up in a dress?
Well, he's already been in a dress, and I've heard,
he's been in
I
a
won't say
dinosaur
anything
suit?
about rumors, so.
He's more dinosaur
light
suit,
switches.
I've been in a dinosaur suit, and I've
Yes.
been in a windsuit. I'm not quite sure I've been in a dress. No, I have been in a dress.
You've been in a dress.
I have
It'll
been
get you kicked off of YouTube, I heard.
Well, it's going to be Gary.
Hey, hello, Gary. No,
It
means no clothes.
means no clothes at all. All right, I'll show my PUSSAY. His name is Pirate. His name is Pirate. His name is Pirate.
Oi, shut up. None of that
I've
talk on here.
got one for that, actually. And that was,
A time out for that. So it is.
I missed what she said.
Well, I did.
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Time out for that. So it is. Hi, you is Jill. Gary said, well, bye, you is Jill.
I'm going to have to go back and see what she said. Warranted time out.
Hey, Mike, is that the foster care dog or is that your dog?
This is one of mine.
Yeah,
That's
he ate the foster care dog. The foster care dog is inside him now.
That would be a feat because this one weighs 30 and he weighs about 90.
All right, okay. Hey, Jabba Junkie.
Oh, right, yeah. Andy's got it right. First the smoking ban.
Now this.
Yeah, you become very, what's the word?
Authoritarian.
Yes, authority. Yeah, it takes me back years ago when, after about 4 times, I said, next time you ban me, next time you put me in, I'm off. And I did.
But hey, you have to remember too, right? There's certain things you can say because you don't know who's listening on the thing. We don't know what's there, and whatever goes up on YouTube stays on YouTube unless you delete the video, as you do know. Ian.
Yes, I do know. Yeah,
So,
very,
yeah. If it's your own channel, if it's your own channel, say what you want on your own channel. If it's someone else's channel, please remember that. You know.
That's why I stay quiet.
She said she was talking about her cat.
Yeah, well, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
nice try.
You know, it's just you know.
I've always enjoyed seeing Earl.
You love cruising on the line.
I haven't seen Earl's for a while.
Earl is the quietest cat in the world. Just sits there.
That's how he doesn't sleep.
Yeah, no, that's been stuffed. That's been stuffed. That.
Grandpa Kevin, don't you be encouraging it. I see Grandpa Kevin is encouraging it.
Sellers, I'm just being educated by
I
this.
forgot to say hi to Scrooge McDuckin. I think Scrooge McDuckin came in. Hello, Scrooge McDuckin. Welcome in. I just love that name, Scrooge McDuckin. So I do.
Oh, the stuffed cat comment, that we had somebody that got us one of these little. It looked like a puppy rolled up sleeping, curled up sleeping, and it had a little motor in there that would inflate a bag so that it looked like it was breathing. It was the weirdest thing. I mean, it was spooky. I mean, because it would just sit there and and it would look like it would breathe.
So that was a cat that someone had and got stuffed. Is that what you're saying?
How's that?
Was that a real cat that died and they got it stuffed and then put this in to make it look like it was still alive? Or was it just one that was bought like that?
Oh, I don't know if it was modeled after a real thing or if it was just a generic animal, but it was weird. I was just like, oh man, that's just weird. I'm sorry.
Buy a real cat. Father was a fake joke.
Yeah, that was just too weird for me. I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to look at that anymore.
Watchcall said there, James P said his neighbor passed away, so he inherited the cat. I tell him I don't like cats every day when I feed him. So, Shark, what I was going to say there to you, Shark. So, have you made many more contacts since you were up there? Did you make contact with that guy I sent you the Facebook thing that was looking for someone in North Carolina to buy stuff?
Haven't heard back. I reached out to him. Haven't heard back from him yet. Okay. But I did make a couple more contacts here locally. The one guy contacted me. One of the people I'm doing business with told him about me, and the guy said, yeah, we've been pretty much just, for the last 30 years throwing stuff in a storeroom. So, we need to get that cleaned out. I'm thinking, cool. Wow, 30 years worth of electronic scrap. That could be really interesting stuff.
There's Earl now. Earl is up and wide awake.
Mike, you didn't wake Earl up just to get him on the show, did you?
He did. He did, yeah.
Ian woke him up? Oh, okay.
Hey, freaking awesome. Welcome in. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for popping in. There was another thing I was going to mention tonight on the show, and I forgot what it was. Let me find it here. I think it was to do with mobile phones. Yes. Oh, no. A kg of mice from mobile or from computers this company or this crowd that done this in college or wherever it was, some university. They took everything apart. They brought it all back down to its every metal they could get out of the kg of mice, and they ended up with $149 of recyclable goods from mice.
Load of bollocks.
1 kg of mice, but they got it down. They got the cobalt. They got the aluminium.
Are we talking about optical mice or the ones with the ball in?
These ones.
Oh, the ones with the balls in are better.
But again, if you're getting these have more cobalt in it. They have more. This is going back to the cobalt, iridium, all these metals that we don't get ourselves. The big recyclers get out of it, because people go, how can the big recyclers, make so much money from it? And because again, when we're recycling, we're either getting the easy stuff out. We're getting the copper, we're getting the aluminium, we're getting the brass, we're getting the whatever. None of us are getting the iridium. None of us. A lot of people aren't getting the plutoniums. Not plutonium. The plutonium. I hope we're not getting plutonium out of it. I hope we're not getting plutonium, platinum metals out of it. The gold.
If you're from the FBI, he didn't mean plutonium.
Yeah. No, I hope we're not getting the plutonium out of it. But yeah, they can, these companies can do that. These big companies can get that, and that's how they make their money. Where we're just taking off the easy pickings. So like the likes of Board Sort, when we sell our boards to Board Sort and they sell them on to another company, that company gets everything back. So it just shows how much money there is in recycling if you've got the big setup to do it.
Everybody above you is making money. Now, Richard does put a comment, which reminds me about Sollers when she set up a e-waste recycling company. At what point does it start getting too much? You know, Richard says, "Oh, he's making contacts with this company and making contacts with that company." At what point you get swamped with e-waste?
Well, you know, when you have to turn sideways to go into your shed, or you have to build a second shed to hold it, I think it's reached a stage where you just go, I don't need to get any more stuff. I just need to clear what I have.
Right. Okay. So I'm at least one shed away from that point.
No, you can turn sideways to go into your shed.
I think, Ian, you're a shed past that decision point.
I've had some comments lately. Apparently, some people have been leaking at old videos of mine. And they've commented like, "Hey, God, how much space did you have then?" I'm like, "Oh, that hurts." You've ordered some shit since then. Literally. You have ordered some shit since then. I'm thinking, it builds up, doesn't it? You know, builds up.
Well, it's not that it builds. It's you become fussy and watch it break down in the evenings. If you're working, you come home and you say, right, I'm going to go up the shed for an hour and I'm going to scrap some stuff out. And you look and you go, that's going to be awkward. That's going to be right. I'll scrap this stuff out, and you start picking the easy stuff. And then that easy stuff, you might just, for me, I might just take the computer board out, or I might do this. And then the bits that are awkward on that, I'll put aside and go, I'll deal with them another day. And that becomes that pile for another day, you know?
Right. I call it winter work for 2 years' time.
Yeah. You're calling it retirement work, aren't you?
Yeah, it's, you're right. I've stripped a load of stuff tonight, you know, all them circuit breakers, them tiny ones. And they've all just gone in a little tub after I've got rid of the plastic. I'll deal with them again. But you do that again and again and again, and you end up with a lot of circuit breaker innards in a tub.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, God, what more have I let myself into?
Look at Richard's comment there. He keeps a few hundred laptops in a guest room. Oh, there's nothing worse than I'd be terrible for that, letting the laptops build up. And then you start doing laptops and you're just like, oh, why do I do this? Why don't I just, when I get a laptop, strip it out there and then? Why do I leave it till I have 40 laptops built up?
Or even better is Everyday Solace comment.
What's her one? Let me look.
You then choose things for a future YouTube video.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was surprised that you put on the contactors. I was expecting the contactor video to be at least another year away.
I needed that little bit of space. You know what I mean? It was there. It was like, I can't do anything else until that goes. This weekend, I promised myself I would do those centrifuges.
Yeah, but as Watchcott said there, as Shark said to Richard, that's like a hoarder's house you have to deal with at one stage. At what stage do you go from being a scrapper to a hoarder? That's the question.
I can answer that being scrapper hoarder. Everything comes in handy at one point, so you got to keep it. You never know you need one of them things. You know what I mean?
Ian, the wooden nails that you took out of the Ark when you were helping to take it apart, those are not going to come in handy anymore. You don't need to keep those.
Oh, I must admit, Jack, every time I take a slotted screw out now, I throw it away. I don't keep fuzzy ones.
Sure. To the right people, those are extremely valuable.
Oh, you had to do that. You had to go there, didn't you?
Hey, look at that comment that Richard said there. No, not that one. Sorry, not that one. Which one was I looking at? This one is the one I meant to put up. I'm going to make a video of how easy it is to take laptops apart, open with a jackhammer. That's the way to open them, with a jackhammer.
Right.
Here's another comment. Hold on, William. No problem in failing to plan from scrapper to hoarder. Yeah. Exactly, William. Scrapper to
I
order.
love the comment that Richard put on the video today. And Ian, he says, honestly, he says, you're like me. He says, I've got a shed like you. It's full. I've just got a walkway. He says, I drink beer. He says, it keeps me out the way of the wife. Happy marriage. He says, and I do a bit of scrapping. No, I replied to him and said, come on, Richard. He's got a channel, do some videos. Don't just show everybody else I'm not alone.
Well, see what everybody's daughter said there. Did you have to mention the hoarder question? My husband is sitting here hearing the word hoarder like I'm bang to rights. We're watching on the TV. Yes, you're a hoarder as well. It's if the only ones that aren't hoarders really is Mike. E-Waste Mike there for definite, because you can see he clears out. His shed is completely clear now. He got rid of everything. He's working on motors. And Shark moves his stuff on. Mike's meltdown, I'd say, is a halfway harder, because I don't think he gets rid of everything straight away. I think he saves stuff for breaking down at later dates, judging by some of his videos. So stuff like that. So, and I have stuff out in the shed that I've been planning on breaking down for a year, and I still haven't got around to breaking them down.
Let me ask you a question, though. If either Mike or Shark were not just scrappers, which is all they are, I'm not denigrating that, Like, see, I'm a metal artiste. But if these two guys were either at heart metal artists or like CC Scraps restoring things, or when they get things, all they do is scrap them and get shot. If they was to start repairing the things that come their ways, they will start keeping bits and pieces, because they'd say, the next time I get this, I might need something. And they'd start keeping bits.
But then you see, they're not
a hoarder.
You're a hoarder then. You're a hoarder then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't keep stuff for the reason thinking I'm going to use that for a different purpose at some stage. It's just I'm too lazy to get around to the awkward stuff, and I let the awkward stuff build up, and then it becomes a stage where it's either scrap all that stuff that you've built up or just build another shed and pretend it doesn't exist. And that's what I got to that stage, So the awkward stuff I've left.
You watched that video where I broke down that big hammer thing, which when I thought about it, I could have directly contacted that metal push and fixed it. And I kept the copper ring for the next time I ever get one of these things. I can repair it.
So, Ian, I will admit that if you're in the repair business, then you do want to have a certain amount of materials on hand for repairs. And I guess if you're doing that regularly, you have some feel for what you need, how much you need to keep on hand, as opposed to what's just too much. And a lot of it depends on what you repair, right? So, I mean, like the U.S. government has thousands of square miles worth of bases where they keep old airplanes and helicopters so that they have parts to fix, airplanes and helicopters. And we have ships left over from World War II that we still go pull parts off every now and then when we need them. So that's kind of, an extreme side of it. But keeping 50 pounds of flathead screws because you think you might need a flathead screw at one point in your life, I'm not sure that counts.
Or keeping 1,500 13 amp fuses somewhere around the house.
1,500? A little bit. Yeah, you're quite right, though. Who needs 3,000 fuses? Yeah, you're quite right. Keep 10, weigh in the rest. Sorry,
that's a very reasonable thing to do. Yeah.
This is the new me, by the way.
Yeah. Here's the epiphany. Here's the epiphany I was waiting for. I knew it was going to come.
The wife said, "Here, a pensioner. I'm not emptying that shed. Get it cleared before you die. You know.
I like what Richard has put there. I see it as gold prices keep going up, so the material I've piled up is worth more when I get it processed. Unless you do an Ian Matthews and just cash in your boards as shred price. So, yeah, there's that too.
Space is worth more than money. Listen, I'm telling you. He's worth more.
In my defense, I'm just going to say that college football season is now over, so I have my Saturdays back.
Yeah, your Saturday is to go and get more stuff to collect, not to break stuff down. That's what you'll end up doing. So it is. Just go and get more stuff.
I was down in the shop last night for 3 hours.
Breaking stuff down, breaking TV yokes down.
Yep, got to get done.
I seen the video. Breaking. Well, I haven't watched it all yet because it's an hour video. So if anyone puts an hour video up, I just split it into 2 parts. I'll watch half an hour, and then I'll come back and watch the other half an hour again. I just, an hour just is too much for me.
A lot of it you can skip through. There's 2 little sections that have the weigh-ins. Those are the important bits.
Yeah, but they don't make an hour video if you can skip through most of it.
I should probably put in chapters so that people can skip through it easier.
So I've got to admit, Mike, here, my videos are not really about scrapping. It's all Shirk, stick your fingers in your ears at the moment. Just that. It's all about the innuendo you stick in the middle. That's what brings my people back. They're going, what is Ian going to say next?
Anyhow,
Ian, that's only the folks of YouTube that keep coming back to hear that.
Yeah. Hey, be careful. Don't encourage them. Don't encourage them. Anyhow, we're about to finish up before Saunders goes live. So, Ian, what's your plan for the week? You can speak.
We'll see what happens. I really need to clear my bench and get those centrifuges done.
I was talking about centrifuges. I was watching a video where a guy, it wasn't a video actually, he's put photographs up on another Facebook page with gold recovery, and he's working on a centrifuge to separate what I done on my last video where I incinerated the chips. And then when I go and grind that down, eventually I have to try and get the gold bond wires. But he's working on a centrifuge system that you pour all that into water, it'll spin around, whatever, and he's trying to make it so that it'll separate the gold from the rest of the material on it. It'd be interesting if you get it to work. It'd be something very interesting,
To answer that, you can actually buy them, but not for what you think. You can buy them to separate engine oil.
Okay.
We use as diesel, right? So you've got a centrifuge, you pour it in, it's automatic, it goes in, and the lighter diesel flows up the sides and over, and the heavier shit sort of stays in the bottom.
Yeah, well, that's what he's working on, sort of idea.
Yeah,
the material will come out, and the gold will stay inside the centrifuge.
You could buy.
You have to get the water flow correct for the weight of the material.
Yeah, so you could buy something like that, as it is.
Yeah.
Which is why I've never actually stripped these centrifuges, because I want to play with a centrifuge. However, I'm not a bit worried about something whizzing round in there at like 40,000 or even.
Well, are you afraid the shed? Are you afraid the shed will take off? Is it?
I'm afraid. Let's face it, as scrappers, anything we get has been thrown away by someone for a reason.
Yeah. Well,
what
Richard said there about the blue bowl. I'd love to get a blue bowl thing, but over here I can't buy them. If I was to buy it from America, it's just the price is crazy. What they're looking for to ship it from America to here, and there seems to be no one in Europe selling the blue bowls.
Yeah, but you're always pissing over to. Sorry, you're always going over to America for an holiday.
Not always. I go every couple of years, but
Well,
not
it's a
always.
couple of years since you've been, so you're due.
Yeah, I know. But bringing back one of them on the airplane might be an issue. There's a motor and everything on it. You know, it might just set off a few little alarm bells ringing. What is this he has in his thing? You know.
Anyway, carry on and just go.
Moving on to E-Waste Mike, because watching has got like others. So Mike, what's your story?
How much time you have?
Very little.
Oh. I'm gonna work in the garage this week. My
Okay.
stepson, I gotta go maybe get that stuff from my stepson's office. His boss gave him the approval to get rid of all that stuff, so just have to hook up a time with him. But other than that, just sitting on my ass in the garage.
Okay. Shark Scrapper.
Stupid.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Shark Scrapper, plan for the week.
Let's see. Dig the snow out of the back of the mobile because I've got to get a whole bunch of boards put together into one Gaylord box. I've got 2 Gaylords that I have to get set up for shipping, and I've got 2 new clients that I have to go visit to see to assess their material. So busy week ahead. Busy week,
Okay.
and somewhere in there's going to be some videos coming out.
Perfect. Mike's Meltdown, what's the plan for you?
Working on degaussing cables right now that pair with the yokes that I just broke apart. And then continuing work on my fume hood.
Okay.
What?
Okay. So
What?
a fume hood.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For
So
chemistry.
anyhow, I have to go because Everyday Solid is about to go live. Well, she is live, but the countdown is on, I think, at the moment. So thanks to everyone who's been in again. I really appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like, please do. If you haven't watched my last video, please do. Should be live next Sunday. Not sure if there's a video out this week or not because I'm in the middle of working on one. So I just don't bother trying to get a video out every week. They come out when they come out, same as Ian Matthews. So thanks for watching as always. And there's the link to Everyday Solders gone in there. So appreciate you guys. Head over there and we'll see you over there. And thanks for being in. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Night, folks. Night. And don't forget,